All right, we're going back under the hood today. I'm going to show you something that I found a little bit after I bought the RV, a major problem that I had found. Okay, now first thing is, ours, this is a Thor Wind Sport. Ours came with these little kind of outriggers that they weld as the frame. These did not come on the Ford frame. And they help to support the front cap. And behind that kind of square in the fiberglass, there's a piece of wood. Now, when I came under the hood after I bought this, this was bought a year old, so it was bought used. Each one of these, they have 4 screws in them, 4 screw holes. Actually, there's probably more than that. But there was 1 screw holding that on to the fiberglass cap on each side, and one of them was loose. Obviously, that's not the way it's supposed to be. You can see that the one bar goes into the other. I believe these screws here, well, that one's even loose right now. They were missing when I bought this. So there was really nothing supporting the front cap. It was just kind of floating around. We'll go to the other side. We have same thing over here, some screws. This, once again, only had 1 in it. I did throw, I think I threw another one in there, but this had a bigger problem too. And I didn't realize it until it was too late. The battery, and you can see I may still have a problem with that. The battery caps had come off the top. And they were leaking some battery fluid. And I mean, you can see obviously on that negative terminal, I had cleaned that off. So I probably still have an issue. I'll probably just have to buy a new battery. I threw some tape over top to keep it's like a Gorilla Tape, to keep the caps from falling off while I'm driving. But, you know, there may still be an issue. I did wash this all down with a baking soda and water mixture. But by the time I figured it out, it was too late. You can see, this is my fix kind of temporarily. The entire, I'll go back to the other side real quick. The part that connects to the frame here, it's hard to see with all these wires in here. All right, so right where it connects there, that had completely corroded. This entire piece had about a 1/2 inch of metal missing, and had completely basically come off the main frame. So there was nothing on the other side supporting the front cap. So I had to come up with a kind of quick fix. I'm not a welder. I don't have a welder. I plan on getting one and practicing before I do this. However, I'm gonna have to fix this better than the way I have it. So I took a piece of basically like what you would use for a garage door and angle iron. Not really angle iron, but not the strongest stuff. You can kind of bend it with your hands if you have to, which is kind of what I did there. I cut it and then I bent it. And you can see from the rust on there that there's still obviously something going on. So I'm just gonna get a new battery one of these days. But I screwed that into the frame as a temporary fix until I can get good enough at welding that I feel comfortable doing this and welding that back on. The good thing is that because these are adjustable, and you could sort of see there's another screw hole right there. This has some room to play. So even if I'm gonna have to take that metal bar off and cut it to make it flat to be able to weld onto the frame, there's wiggle room there. So that is something that you always need to look out for when you buy a new camper. Something I didn't think to check because it was the first time. I didn't figure there'd be a problem. However, take a good look at everything when you buy a camper. You never know where you're gonna find a problem. Another thing, by the way, right here, you can see I have a second grill sheet attached. If you have a problem with, especially in the rain, we found was the worst. If your camper whistles as you're going down the road in the rain and you think there's a transmission problem or something, just call Thor. You can see that kind of honeycomb behind the square grills. That's their fix. It actually works probably 95% of the time, I no longer hear the whistle. They'll send it to you for free, and then you just clamp it on behind the original grill, and I haven't had a problem. But it's something that Thor doesn't openly disclose. But if you call them, they did not give me the slightest problem when I mentioned a whistle going down the road. They pretty much knew exactly what I was talking about. So definitely take that free fix. All right, thanks for watching.